building a creepy horror RPG campaign setting. A dark and unsettling world is crafted right with chilling lore and terrifying encounters. Learn how to build a horror RPG campaign setting that will leave players on the edge of their seats and haunted by the secret long after the game ends. Setting the stage for terror. The atmosphere of the horror RPG is crucial to immersing players in the world of dread. Unlike standard fantasy or sci-fi campaigns, horror relies on tension, unease, and the fear of the unknown. Consider the following when establishing your setting. The importance of atmosphere. A horror setting should feel oppressive and unsettling. Dim lighting, eerie sound design, and slow, deliberate pacing hide the fear factor. Classic horror settings that work well with RPG. Lovecraftian horror, a world where knowledge is a curse and eldritch beings lurk beyond human comprehension. Gothic castles. Ancient halls filled with ghosts, curses, and vampiric lords. Haunted forests, twisted trees, whispering winds, and lurking horrors just beyond sight. Setting the tone from the start. Use visuals to establish the world. Describe abandoned villages, fog-covered cemeteries, and decayed ruins. Implement unsettling music or ambient sounds to enhance the horror mood. Introduce NPCs who react fearfully, hinting at dangers lurking just beneath the surface. World building with dread. A horror campaign thrives on a world rich with darkness and mystery. Carefully crafting the lore and setting will deepen the immersion and intensify the fear. A history steeped in darkness. Legend of forgotten cults that worship malevolent entities. Towns with a cursed past where residents vanish on certain nights. Cataclysmic events that left behind ruins, ghosts, and ancient terrors. Designing terrifying locations, abandoned towns, creaking doors, overturned furniture, and the eerie sense of being watched. Sinister laboratories, flickering lights, unnatural experiments, and disturbing remnants of failed science. Haunted graveyards, fog-covered tombstones, whispering voices, and shifting shadows, infusing the environment with subtle horror. Sound design. Distant footsteps, whispers in the dark, sudden silence, eerie weather, persistent rain, unnatural cold, storms with inexplicable elements, visual cues, shadows that move, objects slightly displaced, unsettling artwork, unleashing the horrors. Horror is more than just grotesque monsters, it's about psychological dread, mystery, and the unknown. NPCs that are more than just monsters, villainous figures, a sinister priest leading a cult, a doctor experimenting on the living, a noble with a dark secret, cryptic informants, a madman who speaks in riddles, a frightened survivor too terrified to talk, a child who draws disturbing images, tormented souls, ghosts with unfinished business, cursed individuals, former heroes driven to madness, unique and unsettling creatures. Avoid overused horror cliches like standard zombies and vampires. Create creatures that evoke fear for their designs, beings that warp reality, parasites that control hosts, entities that stalk but never attack, encounters designed to instill fear, a seemingly safe house that reveals a horrifying truth. Players are haunted by an unseen entity they can only hear. Illusions cause players to question what is real, leading to paranoia. Campaign hooks for horror. A great horror RPG needs compelling mysteries and moral dilemmas to keep players engaged. Intriguing mysteries that draw players into the darkness. Investigating a village where everyone has vanished. Hunting a serial killer whose victims return as tormented souls. Discovering the origin of an ancient evil that has awakened. Moral dilemmas that challenge players resolve. Do they save one life at the cost of many others? Do they make a deal with a dark force to survive? Will they sacrifice part of themselves to end the horror? The threat of permanent consequences. Sanity mechanics. Players slowly losing grip on reality. Permanent injuries, loss of limbs, cursed wounds that never heal, infection or corruption, becoming part of the darkness they fight against. Making the fear stick. True horror lingers in the mind long after the game ends. A good horror campaign should leave players haunted by what they experience, using psychological horror to linger in the player's mind. Slow building terror instead of sunshocks. Paranoia. Players questioning surroundings, NPCs, and even each other. And the result events that keep them thinking between sessions, creating a sense of vulnerability and helplessness. Reduced power fantasies. Players should feel limited in their abilities. Emphasize resource scarcity. Low ammunition, fragile light sources, fleeing moments of safety. Makes escape difficult. Labyrinthine locations, dangers on all sides, fear of the unknown. Leave lingering questions and unresolved mysteries. Did they truly escape, or is something watching them? What was the real purpose of this cult ritual? Was the enemy they defeated just a part of something much worse? Conclusion: a well-crafted horror RPG campaign is more than just scares. It's about immersive world building, unsettling storytelling, and carefully designed encounters that evoke dread. It's by setting the right tone, building a chilling world, and ensuring the fear lingers beyond the session. You can create an unforgettable experience that will haunt your players long after the campaign ends. Hey there, fantasy and science fiction fans, lovers. If you can't get enough of mystical realms, futuristic worlds, and thrilling adventures, then you come to the right place. By subscribing to fantasy and science fiction at Story Nori, you gain access to an amazing collection of stories that will transport you to realms beyond your imagination. By hitting that subscribe button, you'll never miss out on the latest tales of wizards, time travels, space exploration, and so much more. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the best in fantasy and science fiction storytelling, and we're always adding new and exciting content for you to enjoy. But that's not all. By subscribing, you'll be also becoming part of our incredible community of fellow fantasy and sci-fi enthusiasts. You'll be first to know about the latest content for the channel that you won't find anywhere else. So what are you waiting for? Join us on this epic journey into the unknown by subscribing to fantasy and science fiction at Story Nori. Today, your next thrilling adventure awaits. Right, hit that subscribe button and let the storytelling begin. Thank you for being part of our amazing community. We can't wait to share even more incredible stories with you.